Well, good afternoon. Thought I would make another video, kind of show some progress of where I'm at and kind of show where I'm headed. I think I'm going in the right direction finally. Seems like one thing after another. One thing turns into a bigger project and it just keeps snowballing. But here I am at a point where I can start, I think, showing some serious progress. So after flipping the camera around, that's the pad. That's where the barn ultimately will end up being, is on that pad. There's going to be runs out the backside. The backside which will be the other side of the pad. That grass area just on the other side between those white posts. I don't know if they'll show up on the video, but there's white posts out there. I'll go down closer here in a minute and show you. But that's some dirt that I had brought in. My original plan was to put the barn up there, but as you may or may not be able to see in the video, that is a hellacious slope and would require a lot of dirt, way more than I think I wanted to deal with, and probably way more than I have the tractor for. So we've been moved and it is out there. It's my nice level flat pad now, my burn pile over there. And I started today with a simple project of removing a big blue waterer that was up here next to the road that leads up to the shop and everything. And under that waterer was a concrete pad that of course had a water line coming up through it. And I also discovered that it had a electrical coming up through it. It was a heated waterer so that it didn't freeze in the wintertime. And that power is live and hooked to the power that goes to the well house right there. So that's going to get disconnected because ultimately power will come down to the barn in a much bigger fashion and be split from down there. But in the meantime, for now I just have it capped, but in the next couple of days I'll get it pulled out and disconnected. The big black line is a water line coming from the well, which is pretty handy because my next chore will be to dig a trench all the way out to that white post right in the corner out there, which my finger blurs the screen. But anyways, let's see if I can zoom in. Oh, look at there, I can. So that white post is where I will zoom into. That's where the water's going to go. I'm going to stub the water all the way out to there from the well, so I'll have running water. I'm going to need that for concrete. So I'll have to dig this up and throw the backhoe back on the tractor because that's a fun task. And then, yeah, give me a nice deep trench put in here. Anyways, that's the progress of where I'm at currently between mowing, which is like every 3-day kind of a thing that has to be done because grass likes to grow a lot. So between mowing, moving dirt, fixing various things that break around here, I now have a small leak inside my well house that I got to deal with. Not a big deal, but like everything else, one thing turns into another. And yeah, trying to get some of my debris burned down there in my fire pit and come down here to the pad, kind of show off the pad a little bit. I'm definitely not an equipment operator by any stretch of the term, but doing all right. Throwing a laser level on it and it's pretty close. And since I'm not gonna have a lot of concrete flooring other than this side over here, I'm not too terribly worried about it. It's within just a couple of inches here and there. So with stem walls and footers and making my roof lines perfectly level, I can come back and make this work just fine. So, but yeah, that's it. That's a pad. I'd say it's up about a foot, maybe somewhere in there. A little higher on this side because there's a big divot in the ground. But all that dirt out there is extra. It's going to get pulled down into this low spot to kind of bring that up. So looking back, kind of give you a perspective. So the black pipe sticking up right there. somewhere. There it is. That black pipe right there that I just buzzed out. Anyways, it's gonna come all the way up to right here, and I'll stub it out. Probably put a box in the ground. I happen to have one. I'll put a utility box in there so I can shut the water off if I ever had to. And that's the well in the building there. All that pile of mess right there is the concrete that came up. They were serious when they put that concrete down, like 4 or 5 inches thick in some places. Yeah. Anyways, that's where I'm at currently. Oh, I started on the bridge. I'm going to do a separate video of that. I kind of tore the boards off to some degree, but here and there I've been messing with it. I'll put all those together and make one video on that as I can. Oh yeah, one more thing. When I was doing the concrete, pulling it out of the ground underneath the waterer, I discovered that this pipe was pretty full of dirt and debris and runoff. And all those rocks were buried in dirt. So of course all that had to come out. Pulled all the rocks out, kind of sifted it, put it all back. I'm sure it'll probably be a regular thing every few years. I'll have to come in and dig it all out or something, I don't know. But yeah, pipe's open now. We can flow water. I have to figure out how to channel it down and around that way. That's kind of my goal. The ground kind of naturally flows that way around where the barn will be, so we'll see.